Welcome to the Clutch Buckets Podcast. My name is Josh Tyson.
And I'm Kyle Spence.
It's their profession, our passion, your court. Check ball. Let's get it.
All right, Tyson. So we just watched a game, the Knicks and Pacers, where the Pacers blew out the Knicks
Man, blew 'em out the
121 to
water.
89.
Mm.
And I don't know what has happened, but things are shifting a little bit. And I'm wondering if they're going to actually make it to pushing this to 7 games with the
Mm.
Knicks. Like, what's happening here? Why do you think that the Pacers were able to blow them out on their court?
Man, it's what I said in the last podcast, man. You can't put everything on your top two stars.
Right.
Like Brunson and especially Hart, you saw the minutes they were talking about. He's played almost every minute of the entire playoffs, man. It's absolutely absurd putting that much on your starters. And remember, we were talking about the bench wasn't getting any type of help, like really whatsoever. Before Burke started stepping up, they really had nobody coming off the bench. But
That's
then
true.
when you have them playing so many minutes, it's so taxing on the body. It's so burdensome. And eventually they were gonna burn out. And this was their burnout. This
That's
was
what I
their
was
burn.
saying. Okay, so remember when we were in like maybe episode 1 or 2, I
Yeah.
respect Jalen Brunson, but again, he's carrying the largest of loads, number
Full
one.
weight.
Number two, they are burning these guys at both ends of the candlestick. Like
They can't get
Josh
no
Hart,
help,
I
man.
think, what did they say? That he was able to sit down like 5 minutes, and apparently he was upset with that even
Right.
happening.
Even he got
So
it.
if you are putting that many miles on your body because you don't trust your bench to perform,
You're gonna
you're going to
collapse.
get burned out and you're going to
Easy.
collapse. That's
Easy.
easily what's going to happen. OG
Yeah.
Anunoby out with a left hamstring injury. So you're going to
Big
have
loss.
your main second star because Josh Hart is really a role player that stepped
Hmm.
up to be a star player for this team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby out and Josh Hart has to step up. He's just going at LeBron type minutes. I don't see how that was going to work in their favor. Secondly, Tyson, let me
Mm.
bring this back around.
Bring it
Jalen
back.
Brunson is going to continue to put himself in situations he's going to get injured. I am
Mm.
concerned about
Mm.
Jalen Brunson hunting. I respect his game, clutch,
Yeah,
always down
man.
the
Yeah.
at that last stretch of the game. But I've seen him consistently put his body on the line,
Yeah.
unnecessarily so. It's not like
Mm.
Allen Iverson driving into the paint and getting knocked down by Shaquille
Right.
O'Neal. He's looking for the foul and
Yeah,
then
he's
trying to
searching it out.
score in addition to that. So I think that
Yeah.
he's just going to put himself in that position that we're going to talk about later with
Mm.
Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic. How do you
Hmm.
say that? Is it Luka Doncic or Luka
Doncic. Doncic.
Doncic?
Yeah, it's
All
Doncic.
right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
call him
yeah.
Luka.
It's a tough
I
one.
feel as
Yeah.
though that's what he's going to put himself in that category where you're
Yeah.
going to be banged up and then you're going to put yourselves in a jeopardizing situation that the Pacers might
Hmm.
actually steal this entire series because they
Oh
just
yeah.
tied it up 2-2.
Yeah, yeah, automatic. You saw the series shift, just drastically, just in man, it's their body language. I mean, you felt the whole emotional shift, man. You just felt the Pacers consistently gaining confidence, man,
Right.
over these last two games, just because they knew they were wearing them down. Look, the Pacers got a bench. They got people who could come off. You got McConnell, who's been balling, scored 15 this game.
Word.
It's something similar last game. You got Shepard. Old Toppin been balling. Toppin's been really been putting
He
in
has
some
been
work.
very
So
consistent.
who do you have off the Knicks? Like you've only been playing Burks just the last two games. He
Right.
showed you what he could do the game before last and this game, but you're not utilizing him as much. OG Ananobi going out, that was a big loss, especially defensively. Now, who has to carry that weight? Now, Josh Hart has to really step up and carry that weight.
Right.
Everybody's got to, pull together. All the starters who are already exhausted have to do even more now. And
Exactly.
it's burdensome, man. And I think right now, man, especially as exhausted as they are, they're going to take this momentum. Pacers are going to take this momentum and run with it, man.
I feel as though you're absolutely correct. DiVincenzo only had 7 points this game.
Rough.
And this is somebody who you rely on to give you a good, strong 10 to 20
Yeah,
points
he had
in a
35
any
last game. He had 35
right.
last game.
So
Yeah.
he has been over exceeding what we
Mhm.
had for our normal expectations of this type
Yep.
of player. And I'm just seeing them getting worn down.
Man,
And I'm
to the
concerned
nub.
about that. To the nub. Like I
To the
really am
nub.
concerned like this is going to be something that's going to bite them in the end. Coach Tibbs is this type of coach, to be honest.
He
He's
been doing that.
consistently shown himself to be this type. He will run you ragged in practice, run you ragged in the game, run you ragged in the playoffs, and then
Man,
expect everything from you, your
every
blood,
minute
your
of it.
sweat, and your tears.
Everything, no
So I don't know
excuses.
if this is going to be something that I think is going to kind of bite him in the back because of this after it's all
Hmm.
said and done. I
Yeah.
don't, again, if they were to advance, we will see. But I think that this might actually go to 7 games instead of six
Mm,
because I had Knicks in six. But the
man,
way that they blew them out just now, I feel as though that momentum in the last 2 games is going to push them further into the series.
they severely need OG back because real OG was the one, playing defense on Siakam. Now Siakam could do what he wants,
Right.
So man, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know, man.
OG back, I know there needs to be some back on track because the
Hmm.
Boston Celtics playing the Cleveland Cavaliers,
How
we're
about them
finally up
boys?
2-1, 106 to 93 leading the series. Cavs
Look
got
at Cal
back
smiling.
Dean Wade and all this other stuff, but that doesn't matter at all because we finally did what we were supposed to do.
From the
Let me
get-go.
let me let me
Yes.
jump off real quick. Give me a minute for this. This is what obsessed me about my team, Tyson. They have no respect for their opponents
They don't,
because
man.
anytime they play their opponents, they play down to their level. I
I
said that
never
this was
understood that.
supposed to be a sweep, and I know that was subjective. I wasn't being objective whatsoever, but seeing them actually choke a game where you're losing big
Yeah, big
to this
time. A
team,
blowout. Like
it is
blowout.
so frustrating
Man.
because of all the power ammunition that you have offensively and defensively, and you couldn't put it together. We
Man.
have this losing, or I'm sorry, very balanced record of 16 and 16 at home in the
At
playoffs
least it's
for I don't know
balanced.
how long. What is going on? We win one, we lose one. We win one, we lose one. We do this consistently. So I don't know what's
Man.
going on, but I'm tired of it. But
I
I'm
know,
happy
man.
that
I
they
know
were
you're
able to
exhausted.
take one out in Cleveland on the road. They have home court advantage once again, if necessary. I don't even know what's going to happen next game, but what did you see?
Now, first of all, I feel for the Celtics fans, man. What they put y'all through is it's 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 taxing on y'all souls, man.
I'm
Because I
tired.
like because yeah, honestly, your prediction of a sweep was rightly so because
Right.
it should have been. It really should have been. I mean, at this point, man, especially with Jared Allen out, like you all had the height advantage, you all have the defensive advantage, and I don't, like you said, man, you all just dumbed down to that level. You all just pull down, and you're like, you know what? Maybe we could take we could take a game off. Maybe we're all right. We're just gonna go out there, see how it feels, see how it goes, and roll with it. But for y'all to get blown out, man, in that past game, that's tough. But that y'all be needing that wake up call. Y'all
I
need that.
mean,
So moving forward, especially in tougher series, moving forward, y'all won't get so lax. So it's a good thing y'all are getting that now, Kyle. Y'all can get that out your system so you can be ready moving forward. But
are
y'all,
you
y'all
sure
did
about
y'all
that?
thing.
I've seen this so many times, Tyson, that
It's
this is
tough,
just
man.
who we are.
To
We
y'all
are
DNA, man.
consistently inconsistent team with so much skill. You would think that we would have been doing better. We should
Right.
have
But
swept the first, swept
you,
the second
you
series,
should have.
and we should be playing in the conference finals by now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to get through these teams, but
Yeah.
we are not doing what we're supposed to do
No.
and then Tatum has the audacity to say, fans expect us to never lose a game.
That
That's because we're
that was the
looking
wrong
at your
take.
skill,
That
your
was the wrong take.
talent, but
Yeah.
we question your mindset and focus.
Yeah.
Tatum here finally scored 33 points in the
Hmm.
game. he's been doing very lackluster in the playoff
It's been
series, where
tough.
some people have been comparing him to Paul George a little bit. Like they said, he's the Michael Jordan of Paul George's. So they
That's
have
tough.
very low expectation of him in the
But
playoffs.
at the same time, you know who I do respect, man, because it's different this year, Kyle. You can have hope and faith in this. It's different this year because you have Drew Holiday, somebody who can
Mhm.
rally the team together, the leader who be like, okay, y'all, we gotta get this together. Look what he did this game. This man was
Right.
like, okay, I that I'm gonna have to jumpstart that. I'm gonna have to, be the spark. So he jumped out, man. He gave y'all 18. He was balling. He was aggressive. He was doing his thing. Browns, yeah, Holiday gave it to y'all that first half, everything y'all needed, and it got y'all right on track. Y'all
Mhm.
from there, after the first quarter, after the first half, y'all just ran with it, man. So, I mean, y'all been doing y'all thing, but Tatum, man, he just got to do better, man. This is supposed to be the star. Brown's looking like the star now. Tatum been struggling all playoff long, man. I mean, this dude, what, 6 for 15 this game? He's well, no, that's 11 for 25. 11 for
Yeah.
25, five turnovers. He's only averaging 21 points this entire playoffs. His entirety of the playoffs,
He's
lowest since
giving us
2019,
he's giving us
41%
Josh
shooting.
Hart numbers.
He
That's all I
really
want to
is, bro.
say.
It's
He's giving us
tough.
Josh Hart
It's
numbers.
tough. He's looking like the backup to Brown. Like, okay, I just show up when I need be, but bro, you got to take the lead, man. You can't be putting this pressure on Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday isn't there for offense. Like,
He
he's gonna
sure
give
isn't.
y'all what y'all need in spots, but he's gonna have to step up, man.
I
Or
just
this because this supposed to be all year. If he doesn't, man, I mean, is he really the star we all been saying he is?
Well, that is a good question. I would hate to get to that point to where I have doubt,
Mm,
but I can see where they're missing Porzingis drastically because
big
once
time.
Al Horford is
Mm.
left out on the island with Donovan Mitchell, as shifty as he is, oh my
Ooh.
goodness, he's gonna get it off
Mm.
regardless. A
He gonna rock him
three,
out of his diabetic
oh my
socks.
goodness, I'm telling you, that man is gonna be put to sleep easily. So they've been definitely exposing and taking
Ooh.
advantage of that matchup anytime they
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
picks on that. But at least they had a better defensive and offensive scheme because Drew Holiday did say that his goal was to actually put pressure on Donovan having to play
he
defense.
was.
That's why
Yeah,
he came with 18 points this game.
right,
And
right.
by tiring him out on the defensive end,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully his shot falls short on
Yeah,
the
he's not
offensive
gonna
end. And
go
I
as
think
hard.
that worked. So
That's
I
great
think that
strategy.
they're finding their matchups and they're
Mm-hmm.
playing to them as much as possible. But I
Big
just need
time.
them to have some level of pride when they play these teams. Respect the teams, but respect your ability more.
Right.
Now, when we're talking about respecting teams and respecting ability more, Denver Nuggets finally did what we asked them to
Put
do.
some
Have some
respect on my
Denver pride.
name, man.
And they sure did,
They
beating
showed
the
out.
Minnesota Timberwolves 117 to 90.
Mm,
And they're
mm.
currently playing right now. What's the score? What are we looking at right now? Let me see.
Man, right now we're looking at 76 to 60 Denver. I mean,
Golly.
bro, but I mean they came, but I mean, if, to be fair, and I called last game, man. I was like, yo, Nuggets just ain't gonna fall out like this. And but
Right.
that's that championship swagger. That's that championship, foundation, man. Yeah, they're just not gonna get stepped on like that. They know what it takes. So they're gonna make the proper adjustments to, go out there and do what it takes. I mean, if you look at the effort they put forth in the last game, they beat the Timberwolves in every single category on the
Right.
stat sheet, man. Like
Right.
that's effort at the end of the day. Who wants it more? Who wants it more? Who's going to be efficient with it on all levels, man? So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, we saw. I mean, I kind of saw it coming, man. They weren't just gonna go 3-0 on the boys, man. They were gonna do whatever it takes to get it. And the Nuggets came out on fire. 54, they shot
Mm,
54% from the
mm.
three. 54%,
So
man.
do you
I
think they
think
have
as
to
a
shoot at
whole,
that clip in order to win the games, Tyson?
man,
Because that's a hard clip to maintain.
that
We all
is
know
that
that's
is
not even
tough.
realistic after like
No,
one game. So how can they maintain a 54% shooting average from the three in
Right.
order to win this game.
Man, I just looked. That was 54% for the game
Mm-mm.
overall. And so if you
Nah.
couldn't stop anything, the threes, the twos, and that's tough, especially for a defensive team like the Timberwolves. I will
And
say too, that's kind of deflating, especially when a
yeah,
defensive minded team like the Timberwolves, if you're shooting lights out like that and you really can't stop anything, it's like, okay,
exactly.
what can I do? And especially a young cat like Edwards, man, is that going to affect his mentality? Even like Cat, is that going to affect his mentality
Yeah,
and his
because
confidence? So,
Anthony Edwards said at the end of the game that he didn't go out with enough energy. And so he's
mm-mm,
supposed to bring it this next game, which is
yeah,
happening right now. They're
yeah.
shooting 52.9% from three as we speak, the Denver
Oh my
Nuggets.
goodness, man.
So if you're still going at that same clip, Tyson, I
Mercy.
don't see how you're gonna win this game either. And then it's weird
Mm,
because Minnesota won two
mm,
games in Denver, and Denver may very well possibly win two games in Minnesota and
yeah,
get when they have home court advantage back on their side. Because what are the Timberwolves? Weren't they third in the
they
West?
they were. Denver
Was
was
Denver
well.
second in the
No,
West?
Timberwolves was over the Denver Nuggets, were they?
Let me see, because I
According to the
thought it was the
standings.
Thunder, then
Yeah.
maybe
Oh yeah.
Denver, then
Denver has home
Minnesota.
court. Yeah. Denver
So they'll
has.
have home court
They
advantage
will
back again.
back
So
again.
it's such a very weird series because
It
we
is, man.
thought it was maybe going to go to six. Then we thought it was going to be a sweep. Then we were
Man.
like, okay, maybe it's a gentleman's sweep. But if they tie this up 2-2 going
Yeah,
back to
on their
Denver,
own home court, man.
I don't think
Goodness.
they want to hear those type of boos because I know that you talked about the idea that they were fueled by the boos of the Timberwolves fans in the
Mm,
last game. I'm wondering if that's what's happening right now too.
man.
One of the things I would note though is because I was having this conversation, of course, around the dinner table. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Shout out, shout out.
And my nephew, he's like 10, and he was like, Uncle Kyle, this is what I think. I think that the
What
Timberwolves
do you say?
have younger legs than the Denver Nuggets because he's leaning on the Timberwolves being the lead, the one that's
Mm,
going to eke it out at the end of this series is said and done because they're the younger team. So younger legs supposed to get them across that finish
right,
line a little bit quicker. I
right.
looked it up. It's true. They are
Bet.
the younger team, maybe
Look at
by
your
2 or
nephew.
3 years. And I would agree
What
with
I
that. I think
expect?
that's a good point. But experience,
Yes, at the end of the
experience
day.
is now, if you settle into your game, you can have that old man game that you play on the cruise ship against these
Right.
young cats. They
Young
don't know what to
cats.
do with
And beat
that.
them up all day on that
All
post,
that
man.
energy and
Right? Like,
no
oh, go
no
ahead,
no
run
skill
around. Go
set.
ahead, run around. No basketball IQ. You just running for no reason. Go
So
ahead.
it is going to be very interesting. I
It
think that
is.
is a point, a strong element to this,
Yeah.
age factoring into this, but I do
Yeah.
think experience getting to the mountaintop is going to also happen here. So shifting gears
It
real
is.
quick, we saw that the Oklahoma City Thunder
Man,
versus the Dallas Mavericks.
I was just about to say that. That's a good segue because we're talking about experience versus
Yep.
youth. Mavs got him again.
Again, winning that 105 to 101
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dogfight.
To
Absolute
the bitter end,
dogfight.
man. They going ham.
So who turned the ball over? Was it Isaiah Joe or was that Jalen
Man, yeah, it was
Williams?
the young buck, man. It was the
I
young
feel like it
buck.
was Isaiah
It was
Joe
an
who turned the
Isaiah.
ball
And
over
then
at
Luca,
the,
of all
oh
people,
my gosh,
started.
went straight
Luca.
in with the finger roll.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
again,
They
Luca
said
is
Luca
going
stepped
to,
his defensive game up, man. That's what they've been saying. He
nah,
got the
no,
steal of the
that
game,
that
man.
was a poor pass. Luca had no energy, nor did he have any agility and lift to
It's just
grab it. It just came to him. So he
straight
took
to
it and
him.
went straight to the bucket with it. I think
Come
that
on,
that
man.
is
He ain't that one of
something.
the top defenders in playoffs right now, man. That's
Don't I would laugh. I would be surprised. But I respect the game because the Thunder is actually putting up a real stance against this team.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of Dallas
yeah.
fans saying that the referees are really trying to give the Thunder the edge in this series. But
Mm,
even then, Kyrie and Luca have been playing off of one another.
lights out.
Luca at this point he's injured. He's
Yeah,
injured,
it's been
and
tough.
I
Been
see
tough.
it on how his disposition,
The
how he's even
inefficiency.
playing, his
Yeah.
inefficiency, no lift.
Mm-hmm.
He has no ability to move quickly
Mm-mm.
laterally. So I'm wondering, what are you seeing here? Do you think that the Mavs are on the right path here?
Man, so it's the other stepping up. Look at PJ Washington, man. He had 27 points this past game, and the game
That's a
before
real one.
29 points. So it's the others. This
That's a
other,
good
they
one.
even mentioned it in the interview, man, with Shy. He was like, yo, we gotta stop, we gotta turn that water off. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So at the end of the day, PJ Washington, he's the difference maker. But you also see on the Thunder side, um, a whole Holmgren wasn't efficient at all. Like, yo, Gafford and Lively been putting that body on him, man. That boy's a little bit
Mhm.
too skinny, man. Would you put that body on, push him a couple times? They pushing him out that post, and he's looking tired. Young
Yeah.
Buck looking tired out there, man. He can't handle that
He
weight.
had those
He
four
was
blocks in the
struggling.
first half, and
Like
after that,
he was going ham. But on the
yep,
offensive end, he was struggling, man.
yeah, he really
He
was.
couldn't get on the block. He couldn't find his rhythm at all. They pushing him off his spots. Um, man, I mean, he got 8 rebounds, but yeah, man, them boys, Gafford and Lively, man, they going at him. They
I
going at
mean,
him
shout out to PJ Washington
all
because, like
day.
you said, he's been, high 20s, almost call it, if you round
He's
it
a
up, that's
man.
basically 30 points in the last two games.
Mm,
Meanwhile, Derek Jones is 1 for 10 for the
struggle.
Mavs. So
Yeah, struggle.
there needs to be a third person that actually is
It
going to bring
does.
this home for them. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that rebounding, though. What do you think they're doing?
Man, on the rebounds, you talking about for the Mavs, man? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for the
what they putting
Mavs.
a body on them. I mean, because you got that, and this has been the narrative surrounding the Thunder for a little while, man. Like they need some meat on their bones, man. They
Yeah.
boys skinny, and boys a little bit too skinny, and you can see, man, once he's grown, man, bro. Once they use their elbows, man, and
Hmm.
those little other techniques, man. They got a little body, undercutting you a little bit, man.
Hmm.
It's tough getting them boards, and it's tough staying in a good offensive rhythm, man. Once they as
Hmm.
they constantly push you off your spot. So, man, the and also I will say the Mavs and Luka Doncic, it's a battle of controlling the pace. The Thunder, they constantly like to move. They want to push the rock. They want to push the rock.
Right.
But here you go, Luka using up the entire shot clock. So
Easily.
man, and the Thunder, it's hard for them to play that style, man. They want to push it. They don't want to get in a half court set for real. So it's a battle of the pace, and the Mavs are winning that pace battle right now, man. They taking their
But
sweet
I
time. They're looking for the right shot.
I agree. I do think though they have an Achilles heel. Luca has to stop complaining.
Oh
Luca
man, he's over the top,
constantly.
man. You
How
gotta
is he
stop all
not
that,
getting a technical foul? How is
bro.
he not?
And on the other end, like you letting your team down because you ain't getting back on defense, bro.
Correct.
Like you
I've
supposed
seen
to.
it
Like
multiple
everybody
times
raving about your
doing that.
defense.
He's
It's time to
screaming
get
at the
back on
refs,
defense.
and they're going
Man,
down, throwing alley-oops to one another down court because he's still
man,
focused up here. I don't like it. I do think that's an
it's a
Achilles heel for
problem.
them
It's a
because
problem,
it's
man.
going to bite them. I'm telling you.
Most definitely, man. Like he got lucky he got that one steal, man. Because if you look at the other fast breaks prior to that, especially if he
Hmm.
was complaining at the refs, man, they were going down there, like you said, and scoring. Where were you
Yeah.
on defense? Why weren't you getting back? You're letting your team down a lot of times in those situations because man, it's 4 on 5. It's 4 on 5 while you're still down there barking at the ref. They just went up to. Like,
Well, shout out
man,
to Kyrie for being the one that is being the most centered on this team amidst all of
man,
these complaining and all these other
man.
calls that are happening. But let's get to those predictions, though. I'm trying to see what you got going on for this upcoming series with the Knicks and the Pacers. Now that they're tied up 2-2, what do you think is going to happen?
Shoot, man. So of course, man, with this, I think, man, this changed and shifted the momentum right here, man. Especially with OG out, man. Especially if he's not coming back next game, man. I'm personally I'm taking them in 6. I mean, I'm taking the Pacers in 6. I think they're
We
gonna go
should
ahead. I think
we
two
are
in a row. Two in
shifting.
a row, man. Two in a row. Because
Okay.
they looked completely defeated. I mean, not just defeated, but you could see
Yeah.
the exhaustion, especially in
Yes.
Brunson. Like he man, they weren't even really moving their feet that well. I mean, they weren't really hightailing it like usual back on defense. I mean,
Mhm.
the intensity just wasn't there, man. I mean, all that they that Thibodeau cleared his bench for the whole fourth, for the
Yes.
entire fourth. So I mean, man, it's gonna be
So you
tough for
got
them to get back
Pacers.
in rhythm. Yeah, and I see
Okay.
Siakam, I see Siakam going off, especially with OG out. So
Yeah. I could see that.
yeah.
I got Knicks. I got Knicks. I have Knicks
What?
in the next game because
Wait,
they'll
how
be
you see
back
that?
home.
How you see that?
Only reason why they're home court advantage and Jalen Brunson is hunting for fouls. So I think with the crowd behind them cheering them
He gonna
on,
get them fouls.
Jalen Brunson, he gonna get those fouls, baby. He gonna be out there laying it all on the court because I don't think he wants to have that feeling of losing again, especially
Yeah,
by
yeah,
being blown out. I don't
yeah.
think he wants to have that. So I think that they're
Right.
going to recoup, get some Gatorade in their system, rehydrate, get a massage, and try and get back onto the court.
Yeah,
But
and
what
Haliburton was
about
talking mad trash too, so they don't like that.
short
Yeah,
man? I'm
mad trash.
telling you. But shout out to Haliburton being the team's lead scorer for this past game
That
and the
though,
game before that where
that
he
though.
played very well.
He's been
You
doing his
needed to
thing.
see
Like
that.
I think after remember what 2 episodes ago we were talking about how he has not stepped up. Ever since we
Absolutely.
talked about him, he has
Yep.
completely stepped up his game.
And that's what we
Every
need to
possession,
see.
he's aggressive. He's not second guessing himself. He's trying to take it to the rack. Oh, he's shooting that three with a
Absolutely.
nice clip behind it too. So
Yes.
man, all respect, shout out to him, man. That's why
Okay.
they're winning. That's why they're
Now,
winning.
what about this? I got to talk about the Celtics and Cavs. Who do you think you
Mm,
got next game?
what you think? What do you think?
I need this to be a repeat of what we did with the Miami Heat. The Heat
I
won one
bet.
in our
Gentlemen
core,
sweep.
then we went back at the gentleman's sweep going.
Right. I bet that.
Subjectively speaking, now
Hmm.
objectively speaking, we have the tendency to just lose focus, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do it again,
Mm.
where the Celtics lose focus, allow Donovan Mitchell to get hot early, and then we're trying to play catch up.
Right.
Jason Tatum won't find his shot. Jaylen Brown is going to force every gameplay and they're going to
Mm.
turn the ball over maybe 4 or 5 times. This is usually the pattern of
Yeah,
what
it
happens.
is. It is.
I
But I
don't
like,
want it to be that way, but I think
yeah.
that maybe we're going to be happen. So we might go back to Boston 2-2 instead of
Oh,
3-1.
what? No,
I think
I wouldn't.
I
So
don't want to say it, but
I,
it's
I
I'm
think you
trying
all
to
find the
be
key because y'all are without Jared Allen right now. I mean, the
right.
Cavs are without Jared Allen.
Right.
And what you all did this past game, you all kept attacking. You all didn't settle for
Yeah.
the threes. Y'all kept attacking the paint. Y'all did not settle. So if you all do not settle, there's no rim protectors. What you got? Mobley? Mobley's really not a rim
Yeah.
protector. Jared Allen was that guy. So if you all keep attacking, man, y'all be straight. Y'all be straight.
Hey,
And then, man, just double Donovan Mitchell. Just make the others score. Garland hasn't been doing well at all.
he has not.
Garland been really struggling, man, really
You're right.
struggling. So I mean, I would force him to be the difference maker, if anything. So
Okay, your mouth to
um,
God's ears, Tyson. We need that win. I need to go back to the Garden up 3-1.
I say
I'm
four
not
one for
feeling
the series.
comfortable. I feel like this a 4-2 tie series.
Nah,
Still
man, y'all.
Celtics way, but 4-2 because we don't know what we'd be doing. But
But
we'll find out soon enough. But last but not least, I want to see what you got for did I say the Thunder and Mavericks? I want to hear about, well, the
yeah,
Timberwolves are
yeah,
playing currently.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I want to hear what your Thunder and Mavericks predictions.
Man,
The
Thunder
next
Mavs. So,
game.
man, then so the next game, I think they're taking it back, and
I think
yeah. So
they'll play again in Dallas, right?
yeah, it is in Dallas. So in Dallas, man, the way their momentum is right now, I see Dallas taking it, man. Because like you said,
Okay.
you still got the experience. But I mean, it's been a dogfight. It's still going to be close.
Right.
But if the Mavs are able to control the pace, if Luka's knee is good enough for him to hit some threes and get
Mhm.
going, he'll be all right. And look. but the others have to come through. So if
Right.
your boy, if our boy PJ Washington, if he scores 15 or more,
Right.
or even our boy who
Derek
just came
Jones.
back as well, not Derek Jones,
Who you
um,
talking about?
man, our boy Hardaway who just came back all
Tim
injury. If he can
Hardaway. He
get
was clutch,
right,
yo.
he was been
At
clutch.
the
So
end
if
of
we
the
could
third,
get
he
him
hit that
15,
three.
we'll be all right. Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
be all right, man. They'll
that's
be all
true.
right. And man, keep putting our body on home grim, man, pushing them out the paint. They're
Mhm.
not going to be as inefficient as they were last game, but I think the Mavs have really found their rhythm, and now they have more of an offensive threat all around. And if you notice, Kyrie hasn't even gone off yet for real.
That's true.
He hasn't gone off this
All he
series.
has to do is
So
remain clutch.
that's it. And he was clutch in the last game. He knows,
Right.
but he's finally fit into his role and accepted it. That's
Mm.
the problem. He's before when he was with Celtics and he wanted to be the leader, but now he's taking that other seat. He knows,
Right.
okay, I'm secondary now. And remember at the beginning, see, it was a struggle. Him and Luca understand like who's gonna get the ball, in clutch situations. Now they figured that out. Now
Right.
Kyrie knows exactly when he needs to show, up, and he's been doing his thing. So
Okay.
I think because he fit in his role, the Mavs are deadly now.
I agree with you. I think that's
Mhm.
what's going to happen. I think Mavs
Yeah.
are going to go up 3-1 in this series.
Hmm.
Controlling the pace, like you said, is so key and integral to this series, and they've been doing that.
Yeah.
No one controls pace, I believe, better than Kyrie and Luca, honestly.
Nah.
So
Yeah.
you can't speed them up, you
Gotta
can't
take
slow
their
them
sweet
down.
time. Yeah.
So however they decide to control the pace, that's what's going to happen here.
Hmm.
Even if the three doesn't fall, they know how to attack from the inside out. So I can
Yeah.
see that being another game that they're going to take, and they're going to go 3-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good games gonna be coming up soon. That's it for this episode, though. I appreciate all of you joining and watching with us. Be sure again to comment, like, share, subscribe, the whole
Please.
nine. My name is Kyle Spence.
And I'm Josh Tyson.
This is the Clutch Buckets podcast, and we out.
Till next time, y'all.
Peace.